Who am I? That's a deep question. I am Kate McIlvain. I'm the program director here at Sit StayRead, and I have been with the organization for 10 years. For 10 years. I do remember my first day at Sit StayRead. I remember even what outfit I was wearing on my first day at Sit StayRead because I had no idea what the dress code was for an office where dogs were going to be there. I didn't know. I knew immediately upon arrival that I was overdressed and knew that my second day I would be wearing jeans and a t-shirt and my Chuck Taylors, which is much more me. I would tell first day Kate that she is going to do great. I was definitely nervous. I had never been in the literacy space before. I had worked in nonprofits since graduating college in the time between then and starting at Sit StayRead, but they were all arts focused. So this was my first time diving into an educational focused nonprofit, and I was worried that I wouldn't have the stuff. But luckily everybody at Sit StayRead always, and has always this whole time, fostered a real sense of learning and exploration and letting people try stuff and learn as they go. And I'm very grateful to be a product of that all this time later. I don't. I've thought about this. You shared these questions with me ahead of time, and I can't pick just one, but I will say that I have met, I think, literally thousands of amazing people, amazing young people at Sit StayRead, and I think my favorites, they're all my favorite, I shouldn't even say that, but I think some of my favorite memories have come from students who are just very eager to share their accomplishments with me. When students are, maybe misbehaving a little bit, they're out of their seat tugging on my shirt because they just can't not show me the story that they wrote that day, or students who are so eager to answer a question that they are just buzzing around in their seat trying to get my attention because they just know the answer. I love that. I love it when students are eager to share and excited to just kind of like say what's on their mind. That's my favorite thing. Anytime a student is into saying what's on their mind, I really value that and appreciate that because it's a sign to me that they're comfortable, and that they're feeling confident to go for it. I had a student who was a first grader at Tanner this past year who didn't have kindergarten the year before. He didn't go to Tanner for kindergarten. So his classmates had Sit StayRead. I knew many of his classmates from the year before. And one day in the middle of the program, sometime like week 3 or 4, he turned to me while he was writing. He's like, "Look what I wrote, Miss Kate, look what I wrote." I was like, "Wow, that's amazing. Yes, what an excellent story." And he was like, "And I didn't even have Sit StayRead last year." And I was like, "Yeah, right? Like you didn't, and you're here and you're participating at this like max level, and I thought that was he stands out to me from this past year. But I mean, there's like 1,000 million excellent stories of kids and little things that maybe don't like land on your memory forever, but made my day, or just like touched me so genuinely in that moment. And I don't want to discount all of those things too, because they're just as valuable to me in my experiences as those like stand out. Wow, that one time a kid could read where they were struggling before, or they wrote a whole story where they didn't before. It's like, those are amazing, obviously, kind of things. But I like I think I tend to gravitate towards the smaller things. My dog is named Lucy T. Dog McIlvain. The T stands for the, so her full name on her like vet papers is Lucy the Dog McIlvain. And and she is 14 years old. She is 100% not a Sit Stay Read dog, though I got her 12 years ago, and I had hopes that perhaps she could someday become a Sit Stay Read dog. She had a lot of trauma in her life before I adopted her, and we went through a lot of training with a behaviorist and group classes and urban dog training classes and agility. We still do agility now. And I had hoped that maybe her confidence level would raise enough that she would be trusting enough with adults and kids to do Sit Stay Read. And she's just never going to be there. She's just never going to be there. She is actually pretty calm and normal around small groups of people now. You know, we had people over who stopped by the other day, and she just, you know, soothed herself by escaping to another room and just being calm. Whereas back in the day, that could not have happened. She would have just been barking her lungs out the whole time. But yeah, she's not a Sit Stay Read dog, but she does love laying next to me on the couch while I read. And I do have a whole series of pictures that I take where it's just pictures of Lucy while I'm reading. So it's like we do Sit Stay Read, but not with kids at all. I think I've learned to be more thoughtful about what my best effort means, and ensuring that I have the ability to work on something for the long haul. You know, with kind of the grind mentality, it's easy to burn out. And so I've definitely learned to give myself opportunities every day to rest my brain and to just think instead and imagine what could be in terms of programs. I think that like daydreaming is important. Not that I spend all day just like wondering what's going to happen for Sit Stay Read, but I think if I'm constantly answering emails or constantly on my computer, that doesn't serve me as well as I thought it once maybe did. So it took me a while to sort of wrap my brain around that, giving myself space to not grind. And not be a part of that sort of never ceasing, always on mentality has really helped me, I think, grow in a lot of other ways. It's kind of like a base learning that has helped me grow in other ways in my work at the org. And I think I do my best to try to encourage other folks that I work with to let their brains and minds wander and think a little bit beyond what we've always done or how we've always done something, you know, thinking more about not just what we do or how we do what we do logistically, but thinking about how we're working together and how we do what we do has become really important to me. And I think that's a lot because I've created brain space to be able to think about that. My hope for Sit Stay Read in the future is that, and now, is that we continue to be able to have that space to think about how we're doing what we're doing and how we're working together and what the impact is of our work on the students that we are with in the classroom and the volunteers that we're with when we're doing the work and us together as a staff. So that we can grow to be the kind of organization that is a place that is safe for everybody, so that everyone who wants to engage with the organization feels like there's a place for them there, whether that's a student or a volunteer or a staff member or a board member or whatever, or dog, I guess. I think that, you know, that is the kind of goal that is a moving target. So my hope is that Sit Stay Read, and we do this now, and I hope that we continue to have space for the kind of work that allows us to always look at and scrutinize our practices and our programs and our trainings and our staff and our culture and how we work together and all of that, so that it never becomes the kind of place where folks are unwelcome. to come together around a cool thing, which is, to me, is I love reading and I love writing, and I love the magic that happens when people chill with dogs, and I want everybody to be able to come to that as their true self and as their self. I don't want people to have to come to Sit Stay Read with armor up, and I hope that Sit Stay Read can always continue working to be the kind of place where people can just come and be who they are.